Hi, and welcome to Thrive Thursday. Every Thursday, I share a recipe that you can make using Thrive Life freeze-dried ingredients. This is the perfect way to live off your food storage or even just use them in your everyday cooking. I always say if you do need to live off your food storage, there is no excuse to live off beans and rice when you can make amazing meals like this. So definitely, if you're looking at building your food storage or you just want some healthy food alternatives and options for your family that are quick and easy, look into Thrive Life freeze-dried foods. High nutritional value, they have up to a 25-year shelf life, which makes them perfect for long-term food storage as well as everyday use. We do both. We have ours in our kitchen that we use every day, and we also have them in our food storage for long-term shelf-stable food storage. So let me show you today's recipe. Today I'm actually going to do two recipes because they're both really quick and really easy. And so we're going to double it up. Normally I just share one a week, so don't get too excited. It won't happen every week. But today I'm going to make strawberry applesauce and strawberry jam. This is using our freeze-dried strawberries. So these are currently on sale. Every month Thrive Life has monthly sales. And so I always tell people, buy things that are on sale. And if you're buying stuff every month, you're gonna build up your food storage and you're gonna have a good variety. If you want the best savings, the specials pack. It's basically one of this size can of every item that's on sale that month, and it comes in one pack. That pack altogether is 30% off every single month. Whatever the pack is, that is going to be your best deal. That's your best value. And be sure to sign up for a monthly auto shipment because that will give you the best savings. You get 15% off or wholesale pricing just for doing the monthly auto shipment. There's no commitment. You can change it, cancel it, skip a month, whatever, anytime you want. But as long as you have that when you check out, you get the discount. So definitely that is the way to go. And I'm all about save your money, get the most bang for your buck, right? We want to do this on a budget. I have 6 kids, so everything we do is on a budget. All right, so I'm going to show you really quick how quick and easy it is to do strawberry applesauce and strawberry jam, fresh strawberry jam. You don't even have to can this stuff. It's amazing. All right, I'll go ahead and tilt the camera down. Oh, and as always, please like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on our weekly Thrive Thursday recipes. And I also share a bunch of other stuff on the channel here, just random, from other recipes to food storage stuff to freeze drying, lots of fun stuff, and homeschooling. So be sure to like and subscribe and comment with any ideas or suggestions you have. All right, let's tilt the camera down and get going. All right, so what we're gonna do is get our strawberries, and I just have one of these mini food processors. I find them really handy when you're doing small amounts, but you can always do a blender, food processor, whichever. I mean, you could even blend them up by hand if you want, because they're dry and they go into a powder fairly easy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend them up, get these in a powder. Now they don't have to be super fine. This is a personal preference, so if you like your jam to be kind of have chunks of the fruit in it, then that's fine. Don't blend it up as much, but I like mine a little more on the fine side. But you can see I left some chunks in there still. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna measure this out. So what we want to have we're gonna start with our jam. We want to have about a 2-to-1 ratio. So I want half a cup of strawberries and I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. And I know that sounds crazy, but unfortunately that's how jam is. Jam has a lot of sugar. You could do less if you want. Just make sure it just may not thicken up as much if you use less sugar. And definitely you would want to use less water if you do less sugar. So once we have half a cup of our strawberries, I'm just going to put the rest of the strawberries aside for our next recipe. But for this one, we'll do our strawberries, half a cup of strawberries that all blended up, and then our 1 cup of sugar. And yes, like I said, I know it's a lot of sugar. That's how jam works. Jam, if you didn't know that, now you do. Jam has lots of sugar. It's usually about a 2-to-1 ratio sugar to fruit. And then we're going to add half a cup of water. So the same amount of our strawberries we're going to do in water. So what that's going to do is that's going to help rehydrate those strawberries, but also it's going to dissolve the sugar. And this is when you just want to mix it together. And I mean, I did cold water because it's jam, right? We want it cold. Typically with freeze-dried stuff, the hotter the water, the faster it will rehydrate. But for this is okay. We're going to let it cold. We're going to let it sit and give this jam time for that sugar to dissolve. As it sits, it will also thicken up a little bit the longer it sits. And so we're just going to mix it all together really good and then set it aside for a few minutes. This is actually a fairly fast jam recipe, but still, even in that, you probably want to give it about 5 minutes. And if you taste it and there's any sugar granules or anything, just let it sit for a little bit longer. The sugar will dissolve. All right, next for our strawberry applesauce, we have our applesauce. This Thrive Life applesauce is so good. It almost looks like garlic. It's kind of the chopped up apples are so finely chopped up. So we've got those. I'm going to do half a cup now, and you can alter this recipe for however much you need at the time. But I'm just going to do half a cup of the applesauce, the Thrive Life applesauce, and 1 1/4 cups of water. And like I said, you can do larger amounts or smaller amounts. That's just about the ratio. And then I'm also going to add in the remainder of the strawberries that I blended up. Now, the strawberries, I didn't even measure how much there was in there because this is really just to taste. So there's probably about 2 to 3 tablespoons worth of strawberries in here. But this is just personal preference. If you don't want a lot of strawberry, just add a little bit. If you want more strawberry flavor, add more. And we're going to mix them together before we put them in the food processor, just because I like to get them all blended so you don't get that powder sticking to the edge of the food processor, and you get to utilize it all as well, right? So I sped this up just so you don't have to watch me there for a minute, but all I'm doing is basically making sure that strawberry powder gets really mixed in with the apples and the water. And then at this point, we're going to put it back in our food processor, and we're just going to blend it. That kind of helps chop it up a little bit and mix it up really well. If you want really smooth applesauce, you can blend it for quite a while until you get it really smooth. And the longer it sits, those apples will rehydrate and get softer, so it'll blend up smoother. But if you like it to be a little bit more of a chunky applesauce, then don't blend it as much. And I just like to blend it up a little bit so you get things mixed in and mixed together a little more than just how it is right now. And so getting that in, and like I said, just blend it as long as you want, and a few minutes or whatever there, and then you're pretty much done. And remember, again, you want to let it set up for a couple of minutes and let it rehydrate those apples and the strawberries both. And you can see it gets pretty thick there. If I can hang on to the container, it gets pretty thick as well. If it's too thick, just add a little more water. No problem. You can have it as thick or as thin as you like. That's one of the beauties of using freeze-dried food. And here you go. And there you have it. That's how easy it is. So we put our strawberry jam on some bread with peanut butter. We didn't put the top on because we wanted to show the beautiful jam that it made. And this is one that the longer it sits, the thicker it'll get. So, I mean, to a certain degree. Actually, I'm going to try the applesauce first because I think I want to save the sweet for last. So here's our applesauce. Pretty basic. Look at all those apple chunks. This would be awesome. You could make, so applesauce can be used in substitute of oils. So like in cakes and cookies, breads, things like that, you can actually use applesauce instead of oil. So if it comes to it and you don't need it, you could do that. I kind of want to try this, like strawberry applesauce in a cake and doing the applesauce instead of the oil. I'm curious, and especially with the strawberry in there, I bet it'll have some good flavor. So let's try it. And this is pretty thick. You can always thin it down. Just add more water if you want it more thin. Woo! That's some tart strawberries. Woo! Good. It's got that first punch of that woo-wee, that tart strawberry. That always reminds me, every time I taste something super tart and sour like that, I always think, vitamin C, right? That's what it reminds me of. Good dose of vitamin C. So that's kind of what hits you at first, is that strawberry. You can add sugar to it if you don't like it as tart. I think it's good because it's refreshing tart. And it's got those little chunks in it that give it a good texture too. Makes it real taste homemade. But woo-wee, that strawberry hits you right there. Those are some tart strawberries, but they're good. Okay, so that's our applesauce. Woo, and the jam is coming off my bread. So we put a little bit of peanut butter on the bread because, you know, peanut butter and jelly, it's getting towards the edge. Okay. Now that is some good jam. It needs a little bit more, mine needs a little bit more time. I can still taste a little of the graininess of the sugar, which just means it hasn't fully dissolved yet, but mine, I do it pretty fast for these videos. I don't let it sit forever. So if you do taste it and it's grainy, you just stir it, let it sit for a few more minutes because the sugar will dissolve. Yeah. I missed my face. Wow. Okay. Completely different. Even though these are the same strawberries, not tart at all. So you have the ones in the applesauce are like, woo, slap you in the face. Here's your dose of vitamin C. But with the sugar in the jam, and we did put a lot of sugar in, most jams have a lot of sugar. You can do less sugar if you want, just be sure to use less water as well. Not tart at all. This is so good, and it has such, I'm gonna tear it off there because it was kind of big to hold. Oh my gosh, but I want another bite. It is so good. It's just like my good, fresh, homemade strawberry freezer jam. Okay, now I have strawberry and peanut butter all over my hands, but way good, way good. If you love homemade jam, but you don't know how to can, or you don't want to worry about the jars or the storage or whatever, this is a great alternative. No pectin needed. You just follow what I did. Just blend up the fruit. And you could do this with any of the Thrive Life freeze-dried fruits. Blackberry, blueberry, strawberry, peach, any of those fruits, like raspberry. Do the same thing. Blend them up, add some sugar, and let it sit and get thick and let that sugar dissolve. And there you go. You've got a spread. We use, especially my homemade strawberry jam, we do that a lot. We'll mix fresh bananas in it and do it over pancakes. That's like one of our favorites. But so good. And for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, oh, amazing. This is a great way to have homemade jam in your food storage that's healthy. I mean, as healthy as you can get with sugar, right? But good and fresh and amazing, and just a matter of minutes. And you can literally make as much as you're gonna eat. So you don't, this would be great for camping and stuff too, because you could blend it up ahead of time, have the powdered strawberries and sugar in a bag or container, and then just add the water when you're ready, when you're camping, and you've got it right there, fresh. And so awesome. Try these out. Tell me if you try any of the other fruits mixed with the applesauce or in the jams, and how they turned out for you, how you like them, or if you have any other ideas. You could even do combinations. Our family really loves strawberry peach stuff. Excuse me. So that would be a good strawberry peach jam, or there's so many options. But anyhow, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go wash my hands because I got strawberry peanut butter all over them. But thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week with next week's Thrive Thursday recipe. Just a minute. So I want you to repeat what you said on a scale of what?
Of 1 to 10. With the peanut butter, I'd do it a 9, but just plain, I'd do it a 10.
Awesome. You like it then, huh?